So here I am. I bought a Hoover Hive. Hoover Beehive. It's always something that I wanted. I have that big oak tree across the road over there that has that hive in it right now. They've came there to that tree years ago also and occupied a hollow inside of it. And I thought, even back then, man, it would be really nice to have some beehives here. Then I guess about 5 years ago, Melinda and I discussed it and why we didn't just go ahead and do something then. I don't know. Probably because we had a lot going on back at the time with my father and then followed up with my brother. And life got a little too busy for us. So here recently, I was back there. I seen that the bees have reoccupied that tree again. I got up and approached around those bees. They were very friendly. They were not a like Africanized swarm or nothing like that. Funny way to test it, right? But they had been flying up here already to the house to some blooms and things here, and I figured it's probably from that same hive. And they were really gentle, non-aggressive bees. I mean, extremely gentle. I thought, you know what? This is a great time to do some projects like this. Everybody's kind of shut off from each other right now with the current situation happening. And it's the right time of year for it. It is just perfect. Plus, the economy need to be supported right now. So I got in there and I bought this. It's something I wanted anyway. That kept that company some income coming in, and that keeps some people going. Like with Amazon, that I ordered it through, so the delivery drivers going out there, it keeps this heartbeat of our country going as well. If you can afford to buy some things that you can benefit from anyway. I have no prior knowledge of dealing with these whatsoever. And Roy City, Texas, one time, I don't even know if it's still there. Melinda and I, when we were entertaining the thought in the past, we did stop and visit a honey producer over there. Had a metal building off side of the highway there off 66. I don't remember their names. And we did stop and visit, and we looked at them bringing in their hives. They were very nice people, and we seen them harvesting honey there. And it was kind of a commercialized setup, pretty nice. And it was a cool, nice little stop that day. That's about the extent of the knowledge I have, other than when I was a child, seeing some guys come out drop off boxes and at different farms and stuff like that, but I never approached them or anything like that. The instructions on this, I will tell you, it's a little lacking on the instructions. Um, this is your only sheet that comes with it right here, and most of it is just a description of what each component is, and that's about it. This is all that it came with as far as a guide. I mean, I can work with that. I guess definitely this instructions was put together by a man because we don't like much instructions, right? But so it must be pretty straightforward because it is really basic. The first page shows what comes with the kit, and it shows each one. It's got each one with a number or letter. It's got some tiny little notes there. So apparently they expect you to have really young, super good eyes to read that little note part right there. Yeah, it means for me, I'll either zoom it with a phone or go get my reading glasses. Then this is the other side. It shows frame assembly, goes over that, final assembly, and packing checklist. I mean, this is about all that it gives you right here, the end. Um, it doesn't give you any type of like starting instructions or an introduction to beekeeping or nothing like that. So I would say this company is probably lacking a little bit on the market department right there, because I think if I was selling these and I wanted to boost my business out there in the bee production, I would probably include a little information about getting started with this. There's no web links on here. Even give you a web link on here with information maybe online, but there is nothing, nothing. So that's it right there. They probably ought to pick up a little bit on the marketing side on that and give you like a little bit of introduction and promote their product a little bit more. Now, this thing, it smells wonderful. All of this is already infused, like with the honey on it. Oh my God. And you can feel it as well. And this whole box is waxed with beeswax too. As I've seen in some reviews, it has some dry spots on it. I will probably try to source some beeswax as well and get a better coating over the top of it as well. And then I will come back and nail all of this together. So I'm gonna get our next components here. Smells so good. So brood, these are the broods, and this right here is what they call the super foundation. And then on these screens up here, the one that's sitting inside here, right in here, this plastic right here, this is called the queen excluder. So queen, she's not allowed to hang out in there. So these little small ones right here are going to be your frame bottom. Where it hangs down in there, it is as you see, these taper, and this screen is smaller at the bottom. I'm just going to call it a screen right now. What do they call it? Like a brood foundation. So I'm novice, so I'm not claiming to be an expert on this at all. I am novice, so the technical terms I don't know yet, but it's a fun challenge in my life to learn something new. Maybe you too. So this brood foundation, see, I'm already learning, and super foundation, it's smaller towards the bottom where these hang in there, and it makes a gap in between. So this is going to go together here, the same on another, and then this is going to go on top, just like that. Yep. So we'll get this all together right here. So this shouldn't take no time at all. No time at all. So right there, there is your first one right there. And this is called a brood frame. Yeah, a brood frame. A very good smelling brood frame. You can just feel that on there where they're already coated like with a honey and a wax. Guess that's gonna be a real attractant for them right there as well. So these will get nailed now with these little small nails. All right, I've been nailing these frames together right here. These are the small ones up in the top and putting the nails in on the sides right here. You know, don't tell really in instructions which way to do it. If you put a nail down this way, you know, and from the end up or in the sides. But I opted to do the sides here, and I'll tell you why. When you're using this and you're pulling this tray up, you know, it's gonna be heavy. It's gonna have cones and honey and all on it. If you was just to put a nail right here in this end, that nail could just slip out. And of course, like I said, I didn't want to go risk going into a place right now to buy wood glue. So the most sensible thing to me, which I didn't look it up, I'm just telling the truth, was to put them in from the sides right there, which they worked really well. And there it is. Yeah, they worked really well, as you see. Did them on both sides. And so I've been working on these. I've got so far, which I've stopped, do some cooking, hang out with my wife, visit with my cousin and his wife that stopped by. We did distancing in the driveway. But I've got all of these right here done so far. And I've got all of these so far. So I'm just down to a few more. And I want to show what I've been doing also. I kind of did it like a little assembly line. I'll set these over where you guys can see them. I put all these together like this first with the big part right there. Put every one of these together, leaving off the bottom, leaving off the small bottom slab. And that way, when I get ready to put it together, move these back out of the way again. When I get ready to put it together, these aren't flopping around, they're nice and sturdy. Now I can just set this piece in here and line it up in the groove like that. And get one of these top ones. Get this started right there. Get that in that groove. Put it right there. Just make sure it's all in there. And it is. Tighten it down. And there it is. And then I can just nail it. Probably could have took my little small finish nailer, and I had some little short nails this size, and I could have most likely used on this. And I'll just continue on. This is my last one this size, and then I'll have is the large ones, the brood ones. See that other small one? Oh, there it is. I'll go ahead and do one of these large ones here where we've got the camera rolling. And go see how easy that was. So I'm just going to continue on with these right here and finish them up, and then we'll show the next part of what's happening here. But it's pretty straightforward. I can give some suggestions, like when you're nailing in these pieces on the bottom or any of it, and you see that really darker grain in the wood right there, hopefully you do. If you got a choice of where to place your nail, try to avoid those darker strips. Try to stay more in that white wood. You nail into that darker wood, it's most likely going to split. That tends to be a harder wood. The white area tends to be more soft. So avoid that darker yellowish looking grains right there. If you drop your nail in it, most likely it's going to split right there. I've not drilled any holes so far. Okay, I have finished all of the super foundation, as they call it, the brood foundation, which is the larger black one right here. I finished all the frames on those now. All those nails went in, it came with those little bitty ones with no problem at all. Not at all. I mean, it went very, very smooth. You can see right here, no issue with them at all. Very good. So got all of those frames done. It didn't take no time at all. It was actually super easy. All right, so I went ahead and started nailing the dovetail joints on these as well. And I tell you, I already went ahead and I nailed 5 of them. 3 down here on this end. I've got 2 in here right now, as you see. Using the nails it came with. Just the nails it came with. I wouldn't have put those size nails in there if that's not actually what it needed. And everything's went smooth. I saw people saying, oh, you've got in comments, you need to pre-drill these, or seen other, like a guy did a video out there and he pre-drilled and all, and he made it like a really long, complicated process, and maybe that's what worked for him. But I'm just following more along just the really basic guidelines they came with. And I just drove these right in nice and smooth. Let me get it now right there, nice and smooth. Look at that. Easy peasy, no splitting, no resistance, anything. I can tell it's a nice soft wood as far as using these type of nails on. Let's flip it over right here and do the other side. I've seen them with clamps going and clamping across here. Oh, these are dovetailed. They can't split, they can't slide apart. That's the point of a dovetail. So what's the sense of putting a clamp on? Nothing, nothing. Because a dovetail is notched in here and here, tapers in. There's no way this can move out. That's the beauty of a dovetail. So I think some of it, they just get a little carried away with their little tutorials of trying to do this stuff. But who knows? They may have got one in different than me. It may have had some really dry wood to it. But so far for me, this has just been right on, boy. Just right on. Now, right there, that I could see drilling. That knot right there, we all know a knot is not good. I'm gonna skip that. I'm just gonna skip it. I'm not even gonna bother to drill it. Just gonna skip it. I'm sure skipping that one spot's not gonna spoil this whole box. And I want to leave that knot undisturbed in this wood. I want to cover something else as I've moved into this project, because I'm telling you, I am not an expert. But it had 2 bags of nails, but in one of those bags it's mixed in 2 different sizes of these. Let me show you. So they didn't separate them. Came 2 different sizes in one bag. So we got that right there also. And I can tell these are all meant for being on the outside, anywhere it's going to be exposed to the weather. Looked at the instructions and it really don't give a fine detail of where those little small ones go. Or these small ones, this type. But if I had to guess, I would guess that they most likely would go right here. Let me show you. On this corner right there, and where this is, let me see if I can get where you can see that. This is grooved in right here for those broods to hang on. And this is thinner right here. See if you can get where you can see that. This is thinner here, thick and thinner. And so where this dove comes down thin right here, this is where I would believe those go right there on those corners right there. Let's put one in. See right there, right on that little thin spot right in there. And these are the ones that are meant to be exposed to the weather. Let's see how that goes. There you go. Well, I'm gonna finish getting all these nails in these, and see if I missed any of them here. No. Go ahead and finish getting these nailed together. Of course, if you don't nail these dovetails, fasten it some way, this wood, if it decides to get wet or warp, it'll curl up out of those, and you don't want that to happen. All right, let me show you what all I've got done here. I'm real close to being done. So these right here, these are like what they call, I guess, like a super foundation, and they will be up on the top. So I put all these together, and you see I've set them inside a little box right here at the top, and they just hang right down in here. Now I don't know, because I'm not a professional with this. I am a beginner trying to show that someone brand new to this without knowing can step into this and learn how to do this. This is how trades get moved forward. This is how we pass knowledge. Other people pass it down to the next person. It passes it down to the next person. I'm just trying to learn like the same as everybody else out there. So I may have failures along the way. I don't know. I'm going to show what I've done so far, and that's the main thing I'll be able to show you guys. So I put these little frames together. So I put this bottom piece of wood and these two little short ones together first. It left me kind of a U. I was able then just to set this piece down in its slot, nail this piece in last. That way I didn't have a lot of wiggling and wobbling and stuff falling apart. Go ahead and nail 3 pieces of the frame together is my suggestion. Then all you have to do is get all of them together like that, come back, stand it like that, slip this piece in, slip this piece on, nail it, and you're done. Same thing I did with all of these. So the next thing I did, of course, after I put the boxes together, is I nailed it. Had a small nail that goes in this thin spot right here. Then your bigger nails right down through here, and these duff joints right there. As you can see, continuing on here, continuing on here, continuing on down the sides right here. So I've got all those done. I haven't done the ones on the small one yet. I'll do those in just a few minutes. This is all I know so far. I'm not an instructor. I'm just sharing the knowledge that I've learned so far as I've begun this. So this is your bottom piece. It's made with a, where it's dropped down right there. One end's not closed. You'll set these on there. And if I'm telling this wrong, somebody correct me in the comments. You will not hurt my feelings, because I am learning. If somebody else reads the comments when they watch this video and they're trying to learn, we're all learn from each other. All right, so then we just drop these in here, and they just hang right there. And these will end up getting heavy with honey, and that's why you gotta be sure to nail these frames really good. There we go. Just like this other one, just get these all in there. I don't know how many goes in each one. I hadn't even counted what the total is here, just to be honest. Figure I'll get it close to full, like that. And then I'll go ahead and hang them in this other one here. This is something I have really enjoyed doing. It smells so good while you're doing it too, because this is all already infused with like honey and beeswax. The whole box is. This whole box is coated in beeswax, and man, does it smell so good. I think this would be a great project to do like with a son or a grandson, granddaughter, just anybody like that, a nephew. It'd be a great learning project right there. So there is what I have so far. Let's stack this up and I'll show you a little bit more. So here we are. I stacked up the next one. So from what I can figure out, they're going to fly in right here. They're going to work up and through there, building their cones. The next thing that I know here is you're going to put up here what they call the queen excluder. This, from what I understand, is the queen excluder, and it'll go right up here, lay on top right there. And then this right up here is what they're calling your super brooder. So now you see that in there. That is the queen excluder. It's layered in between right there. And then you're going to have what they're going to call right here the inner cover. This is the inner cover. Let me give you an overall view of it there. The inner cover. It's going to go up here on top. And there we go. There it is on top. Then this is your lid that goes on top of there. Right here. Let me set it on. And I tell you what, these tricky rascals, I have just this random piece of wood that was inside of there, and it's not treated or nothing. You clueless what that's for. They don't mention it here in the diagram with what comes with the kit. You can see here your top frame, your bottom frame. There's your side frames, your brood sides, inner cover, bottom. But it is not listed there, which is kind of funny. So somebody just playing tricks right there with mystery wood. So that's what you do with that. Okay, I want to do a little follow-up here. I had said that I did not know what this piece went to, if it was just like extra piece of wood, because it is not listed here on this anywhere. If I have this right, and I'm sure people will correct me if I don't, this piece is supposed to sit in right down here at the bottom, and you see it's got two different slots, and they didn't cut this thing to fit. It's like man, like 3/16 of an inch too long right here. I'm gonna have to trim it. But supposedly you put this in here like this, for instance, like during the summertime, and you have a bigger gap right here, and that's where the bees would go in and out if it was fitting in here properly. I'm gonna have to get the saw and trim it. And in the wintertime, you would turn it and put it small to retain more heat inside and leave a small hole for bees to come through. Now that's what I got from that. So here it is. I got it together. It went really fast. I spent only about 2.5 hours total on it, and I had no problems at all. Everything went really smooth. I didn't have any wood splitting problems or anything like that I had read in the comments. I did not pre-drill any holes. I didn't have any issues at all. It went very smooth. So maybe those people that had wrote that, I'm not criticizing or anything. Maybe they just made some simple wood mistakes, like don't drive a nail into a knot. Don't drive a nail into your dark grain woods. It's almost the same as a knot. You got to move your nail up or down, keep it over into the lighter grains. That's going to be softer and less chance to split. A beginner could put this together with no problem. This would be a great family project. It's a great learning experience for me so far. I'm trying to learn the terminology, trying to get up to speed. I am completely a beginner. I have zero experience for this. I can't give any advice for this. This is something that I'm sharing to you all what I'm learning, and if maybe I can figure it out, someone else could also take this project on and figure it out as well. I'm really blessed that I have some subscribers on here that happen to be very knowledgeable with bees, and you've been given some great information, some great links, some great resources out there, and I thank you very much for that. Uh, I don't get to reply to every comment constantly. I do have to kind of walk away from every once in a while to get some things done. So if I've missed commenting somebody out there that's tried to help, I'm sorry. I wasn't ignoring you. Trust me, I've read it. It's just I probably hit the link you sent me or looked up what you sent me and got to reading deeply, because that's what I do. I get real deep in thought on the things that I'm trying to learn. All right. Well, I hope this has been helpful for someone out there thinking about doing one of these projects. Join in with me. You do it too. Join in with me. I put links in the video or in the description to the video of where I bought this at on Amazon. If you hit that, it is affiliated link. And so if you hit that and you bought one of these, I am going to tell you, we would earn a tiny, tiny little commission. And it kind of helps out for all my time I put into doing some of these videos. So if you hit that link and you look at these, but you go on Amazon and you buy something else from a totally different seller out there and all, as long as it's through Amazon and it's in a certain time frame, we will still earn a little bit on whatever else you purchase during that search, during that time frame. So any little bit you can do, I appreciate it. I put a lot of long hours in on these videos, and keeping these projects going and trying to share stuff out there. And trust me, we don't earn squat on YouTube. So trust me, we're not in YouTube riches. But I'm asking you, if you don't mind subscribing, I would really appreciate it. Keep following me on this journey, keep giving me advice, and I hope all of you are doing great out there.